Girl, what? Girl, what?
Girl, what? Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the program. I'm your host, Danielle Denise, and this is Girl, What? I'm joined by a very special guest. He's no stranger to the Girl What podcast. He's been on an episode, he helps me behind the scenes. He's a content creator, very busy, and his name is Rome Green Jr.
Woo-hoo! Good
Yes.
listen. Your intro is one of me and Cam's favorite intros of any podcast we listen to. It is great. I love
Thank you
it.
so much. I'm glad you love it. I love it too. Girl, what?
Girl, what?
It's classic.
Yeah, it's great.
It's
It's
like a
great.
household slogan.
Yeah, for real. I can see a lot of people just sitting in the house saying, girl, what? Yeah, no,
Right? Me too.
it's great. But I'm glad to be back.
Yes, welcome back. How are you doing in this wonderful pandemic?
I'm doing actually wonderful, man. Despite the losses that we have had this year, and I don't take that lightly. But for me personally, it's been great. It's been a phenomenal year. 3 months into launching our Shady Side Up sunglasses
Yes.
business. Officially, literally today is 3 months because we launched August 20th. So today makes 3 months, and
Congrats.
time flies. Thank you. Yeah, it's weird because it's just like at the beginning of the year, I didn't have a business when it came. Well, I mean, I had a business, dorm team and everything else, but I didn't have a product business. And then, by the end of the year, I have a whole sunglasses line, which is actually wild. So, I have a pair right here. You know, the Hangovers, gang, gang.
I have those.
I
Yes,
love the
yes.
Hangovers. So, yeah. So we're here. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good too. I'm really just trying to stay mentally sound. I feel like the pandemic has really tried me mentally, and I never had like a full breakdown, but I felt it. I felt just this wild
Gosh,
anxiety build up.
no,
And
no quarantine booze, no.
no, oh my God, I feel
Oh,
like I missed something because
man.
the, you know how
Midday?
cuffing season is a thing? Like people are, they're cuffed up.
Oh yeah, no,
Like,
they cuffed.
what are you doing? I'm just like, oh,
No,
I
they
don't know.
definitely cuffed out here, like full blown handcuffs. Like I'm like, oh okay, all right.
Like full blown relationships. And I'm
Yeah,
just like, oh, okay. Hey, girl, I thought
but,
y'all just met. But listen, none of my
I missed
business.
the memo. Yes, I didn't know I missed the memo, but hey, we here, we working. So
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah. And that's okay. You don't have to have a boo. You can be, I was about to say miserable and single, but like that's not positive. It's fine. But
Well,
I
being
just want
single
it
is
to be
great.
genuine, Like I
Yeah,
just
for sure. You don't want nothing to just be like, oh well, I was lonely in this certain period of my life, so I'm just gonna leave it right here, and then that's it. And you're like, wait a minute, so you don't like me at all? Like, what's going on?
right. Like, oh, are you free? And it's like, oh, for your convenience only? Are you going to like inquire
Like,
about anything about me or you just want to
I,
do
I don't,
this?
I don't know if I like that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So it's fine. But yeah, no, it's just and I get the FOMO because everyone's been going to Mexico like fucking crazy. And I'm like, damn, I should just book
at
that
this point,
flight.
everybody's Mexican because
Everybody and I
I've
would
never
say they
seen
have COVID because I feel like
I've
that's where
never
that
seen
shit
so many
was.
black people in Mexico. It's ridiculous.
So many. They're taking full advantage of any open island country. So Mexico and the Caribbean have been hit up
Oh yeah,
tremendously. And it's
Um,
cheap. It's
yeah, it's
cheap.
cheap. So
Forget it.
those countries have been eating. They've been eating good. They been getting money. So I'm not mad at it. Some of these countries need that. So I'm not hey, get your
Yeah.
money.
Right. Keep the tourism up for them, but also be safe. Like people
Yeah,
are coming back with COVID. That's my only thing. It's like, so I mean, take that chance, but that's why I haven't pulled the trigger all the way. It's like,
yeah. But the minute that the borders and stuff do open in the next year or whenever it does, I'm out. I'm
mm,
I'm outie. Me and Cam been waiting to go overseas. That's one of my joys is traveling. So I am out as soon as I can. I've been to the islands, but I'm trying to get back overseas, get back to
I
where I
feel
was born.
you.
Yeah,
Where you were born? Oh, Germany?
Germany. Hmm.
That's right. I've never been there, but
Yeah, I'm trying to go Germany, Italy, all that. I'm trying to touch everything.
I feel you. I do want to go back to Europe like really bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe 2022 or something. I
Let's
don't
see.
know. Now we are going to get into my new segment called The Girls on Twitter.
Okay.
All it is where we talk about what the girls on Twitter are talking about, the big subject. And I feel
Okay.
like right now it's all about the verses with Jeezy and Gucci Man that actually took place last night.
Mm-hmm.
I had a whole like mood set here. I had my
Oh yeah.
lights. I had candles.
Ain't nothing like a good. Ain't nothing like a good trap battle. It's just good. Good for the
Yeah.
soul. Yeah.
Oh, it's wonderful. I
Yeah. Yeah.
loved it. But yeah, no, I'm Team Jeezy all the way.
Mhm.
That's something I grew up on. Gucci, I'm not too familiar with his catalog, and I can tell you right now, I knew like 3 songs out of that 20.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. No, I know the reason why I knew a lot of Gucci is because from '06 to 2013, I was in Atlanta. So when I was
right.
in the club, I heard Gucci. Like we heard all type of Gucci, all the every Gucci, the lemonade, the photo shoot, like everything they played. We was like, oh, I remember being in the club, Miami and club.
Yeah.
That's all we remember. But yeah, so I do got a love for Gucci, but I have a bigger love for Jeezy just because in '05 when his album came out, I had never heard an album where everybody in my hood, like everybody, it was
Mm.
playing in everybody's car, everywhere I went, everyone. I was like, dog, this is great. We couldn't wear snowman shirts to the school because they were banning the t-shirts.
Yeah, that was a thing here.
I was like, yo, it was so Jeezy has a different place in my heart for sure.
Oh, yeah, he is a cultural being.
Hmm.
Like that
Hmm.
was an era. The snowman era was real.
And then I love to
And
see the growth, to him, moving into real estate and buying houses and all this stuff. And I really
mhm.
watched a good interview with him one day about the restaurants that he invested in the city and giving back to his community. Like, so he's a real stand-up guy. So that's what I do appreciate about him. Like you see him go from a thug to a man.
Yeah, no, he definitely grew up. He
Yeah,
grew up.
yeah,
I
that's
do
good. But
appreciate that.
why don't you want to advance? Like you're 40 years old at this point. It's like, am I still gonna be doing the same thing? Like, nah, I gotta be doing something different.
That's a
That's why
fact.
I know Gucci had to feel bad when Gucci was like, I'm wearing a $10,000 outfit, and Jeezy was like, well, I don't have a $10,000 outfit on, but I own half of Atlanta. So I mean, and I'm like, that's I like you. He just flexed on you talking about real estate. You talking about a $10,000 outfit? Why you got on a $10,000 outfit? Then stop.
Yeah, it was kind of corny. I was just like,
It was kind of cool.
I will say Gucci was the best dress. I did love
I
that
did like the fit. I
monochromatic
like the fit.
look.
I
Yeah.
like the fit. Nice earth tones. Nice fall. Nice
Yes,
fall.
camel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, I like the look. I was like, but I don't need to pay $10,000 for that. I can get that from the thrift store. I can work that out.
Right. I
Even
can
when I'm
find
getting
the
a bunch of
knockoff.
money, I'm still gonna be shopping at thrift store. Be having some gems. Like people be sleeping on that. They be having some gems in there.
Yeah, right. Having style doesn't mean you have to spend like hundreds of dollars.
Nope.
So no, yeah, Gucci, that wasn't cute. But I get what he was trying to do. He was just
Yeah.
there to be a troll. Like he was just there to be aggy, annoying. But what was annoying is the songs like I thought he would play and he didn't. Like some stuff
Yeah.
that I only knew from like mixtapes of his, but it's like he picked that Bruno Mars record, and I'm like, that wasn't
Not that
nobody
it was a bad song, but it just was a bad choice in that
in that round.
round.
Yeah,
Yeah. Nah, for sure. For
but
sure.
but then I think about the whole thing, and I was like, no, I wouldn't want to hear that anywhere because I feel like anything Jeezy puts out just would have been better.
Yeah.
But I'm biased, so
Jeezy has a nice his voice fits on his trap music and his trap beats. Like I like it, so I'm with it.
well, well, Gucci tried. At the end with them coming together to sing "So Icy," it was like, okay, that's cute.
That was cute. That was cute.
Yeah, it's better than them fighting. Like I really
Here's,
didn't want them to fight.
here's what people need to realize. Like it's not even for So Icy, that song, it's not even about Gucci or Jeezy.
Of
It's about the
course.
nigga singing on there. He's singing so hard. Like
Yeah.
I want you to go back and listen. Like towards the end of the song, my man he has a full like 2-4 bars of him singing, and then his last line is my chain hang down to my dick. I was like, what?
I remember that. I
I was
remember
like,
that.
yo, somebody need to get this man credit. He is out here singing his heart out. He probably ain't been on no other song ever, but that one, he
That
said,
was the shit.
I'm gonna make this my song right here.
That's a
Yeah.
fact. He bought a house on that song.
Mm-hmm.
He really carried that song on his back. I'll give it to you
Mm-hmm.
because you're absolutely right. As a young lad who listened to it, I forgot that both Jeezy and Gucci were on the song. I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that is
That
their
beat
song.
started shortly after that.
Well,
And
hopefully they got over it.
yeah.
I understand someone died
Yeah.
for it to get here, but listen, we're in our 40s. We're
Like stop.
grown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all got families. Gucci got a baby coming. Jeezy got hella kids.
Like
Actually, I
that.
don't know how many, but
I'm not sure how many.
I just know he has a family now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it was great. It was for the culture. I'm into it. I really do like the verses stuff.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I do wish they were friendlier, but you can't ask that from
Yeah.
everybody. So it is what it is. Moving on, I would like. Well, you didn't watch it, the Fresh Prince reunion.
I didn't
We will.
watch it, but I will.
Yeah,
I will definitely watch it.
I would say check it out. It's super, super cute, super touching, super emotional. They do bring up Uncle Phil. It's great.
What I loved about the Fresh Prince, it just was you just showed a black family together, and that's the
Yes.
and it was at the time, in the '90s when families would gather to watch things, and so it has
Mm-hmm.
that family nostalgia to it, and it just that's what I do love about the Fresh Prince and what they did, and it's such an iconic show. Like it'll be remembered forever, like beyond our years.
Iconic.
Like, it's
Oh,
great.
that's a fact. Yeah, it's a phenomenal sitcom. Like that was sitcom. You sat down, you watched it as a family. But then also, it was black. Like it was
Right.
corny, yeah, but it was still very black.
I mean,
Like
that was at the time when it was so many black. It was a different world. Martin, Fresh Prince, in
yeah,
House, two of us. Like it was all so. It was just black. Everything. I was like, what happened to that? There's no like, where's that at? Like, where's
whoa.
black? Like, it's not really too many black sitcoms like it used to be. It's crazy.
Family sitcoms, yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like it's all on BET now, but I don't
yeah.
really watch BET like
I
that.
don't. I don't. Yeah, I
So
definitely
they
don't.
might exist.
Yeah. They might. They might. They might. I might have to go do some
Yeah.
research.
I feel like it's a Tyler Perry production. Anything black and either relationship based, family based, he has all the shows.
And the
So
dark skinned dude gonna be the villain. So that's good.
absolutely. Absolutely. And they'll
You
be
see how it happens.
saved. Yes.
Hmm.
So either way, I would want everyone to check out the Fresh Prince reunion. You will enjoy it. And it's not long, it's like an hour.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to more pressing matters. So our
Um,
topic of the day.
oh, by the way, I love this orange on your skin. It looks nice.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I
Yeah.
got it
Well,
at a sample store.
like a burnt orange. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, like a terracotta or something.
I'm not sure what that is. Sound like a fruit.
It's a color. It's like a pottery.
Okay, terracotta. Okay. I just learned something today. Terracotta. Okay, all right, I'm with it. I'm with it.
Terracotta, yes, but thank you.
You're welcome.
But yes, we are here to talk about No Nut November.
Oh man, now let's get out here.
So
Let's get into it.
yes, so here's what I thought No Nut November was for. I thought No Nut November meant you were literally preventing yourself from, you're basically practicing abstinence, but like full abstinence, no masturbating, no sex, no nothing. But I
Mhm.
thought this was all for a good cause. I thought this was for like the testicular health and stuff, like
No, no,
testicular awareness.
no, no. It is. It still is. Yeah, it still is.
Oh.
Like so, when I first came across No Nut November, it was for men to gain self control. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Because a lot of men, we lack that in that area because, we're primal. We want to release. But as I studied and got more into it, it's really to own your power because that's where our power is at, is in our nuts pretty much. That's where the power of the man, the semen, you know what I'm saying? So before I even knew about November, my homegirl put me on to a sober September, which was no drinking, no
Oh
sex,
yeah.
no masturbation,
Oh.
no smoking, none of that for the month of September.
Oh my
So
God.
the very first year I did it, I lasted 2 weeks. It wasn't even that, maybe a week and a half, and everything else was fine. I no drinking, I don't smoke, and then the no sex, all that was easy. It was a no masturbation.
Yeah.
And, and it's just like when your mind is focused on it, and when your mind knows that you're doing a challenge, that's when all the wild thoughts start running. They start running crazy. Like, you thinking of people who you hadn't thought of in years. You see everything. You're seeing every butt on the internet is everywhere. You're like, oh, what am I gonna do? But that was the first year. But then the second year, after because I did this, I first did it when I was like 30, 29. Then the second year I turned 30, I had been a little bit more in tune with myself. I had read the book. I had read The Ways of the Superior Man, so I learned about a lot in there. I learned different things. So this time when I came around, I ended up doing it for 45 days. The second time I came
Ooh,
around.
overachiever.
Yeah, I was like, you know what, I'm on it. It's the Aries in me. I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm going through with this. You know what I'm saying? And it was a fun experience, very challenging, super
Yeah.
duper challenging, but it was very fun. Yeah, and I don't think a lot of. I think I don't know if women. I don't know if women because let me tell you this. So any guy, for all the ladies that are listening, like, men, once we get to a certain age, like, masturbation isn't as fun to us anymore. It's more of a business. It's more of a pull up, clock in, get it out. Because we feel ashamed when we're done. Like, we'll go, like, you look yourself in the mirror, you're like, who am
Who
I?
are you?
Like,
Right.
why would you do that? You lame. Like, what are you doing with yourself? And and so it gets to a point, and what happens is, what I don't think a lot of people realize is that can stuff like that can lead to depression. Like, it's a real thing.
Oh.
Like, some men who are depressed is because they're releasing their energy all the time, and so they don't have nothing. Like, I'll never forget, I was going to the gym one day, and I had just masturbated the night before, and I'm going to the gym, and my trainer looked at me and he was like, "Yo, you was fucking last night?" I said, "Nah." He was like, "You masturbated or something?" I was like, "Yeah, no, I did." He's like, "I could tell." I said, I could feel it. I could feel your energy. Like, you weak. Like, I was weak in there. Like,
Oh
I
my.
didn't have, because you lose the testosterone, you lose that motivation. Like, so when you hold and don't nut, like, it's a different power. Like, and it's very real. Like, when I first did it for those 45 days in September, your energy is like in a whole new realm. Like, I remember I went to an event during that time, and so many women just came up to me and was like, "Hey, how you doing? Oh, you look nice." And I was like, what is going on? But you're in it. You have, it's like an aura about you. You have this new self-control. You have this new environment, and people can feel that. You know what I'm saying? But when you release it, you're kind of depleted. You're kind of like, oh, that's why
Mm,
men go to sleep after they nut. You go to sleep.
that was your
Women don't
energy.
necessarily have. Women can get back into it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I need some water. I need some time. Like, I'm trying to get my mind in order. I'm just like, all my energy, it's just out of there. It's just gone. And it's such an interesting thing between men and women. So yeah, that's my little quick story on no fapping.
No fap in
Mhm.
November. And September. The September one is tough. I completely forgot about that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I didn't do it this year, but I didn't do it this year because during the quarantine I ended up doing um like basically like a no nut thing, probably like in no, all of April into May. Yeah, all of April into May. And that's when I was reading the 5 a.m. club book
Mm,
and all that stuff and getting up at 5 a.m. And
mm.
I'm telling you, you do feel great. Now, there's semen retention, and then there's no fat.
Okay.
So
Semen retention. Okay.
yeah.
What is that?
So let me tell you the difference. So no fap, no nut November, no fap is basically abstaining from porn and masturbation. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and sex too, but really it's about taking your mind off porn, because so much porn gets in our minds where real life women start to not trigger certain things, and that's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people who are addicted and they would rather go masturbate and watch porn than to be with the girl.
Right.
So that's no fap. Now, semen retention is a whole new thing. Like, so semen retention is retaining your semen in order to put the energy into something else. So, for example, let's say I have a boxing match coming up at the end of December. I might practice semen retention so I can make sure that I'm fully. And that's why when boxers and stuff go into training,
They don't have
They won't have
sex.
sex. Yeah,
I've heard that many a
yeah,
times.
yeah. So you keep all that. If I know I got to train, and also semen retention gets even deeper. It goes into a spiritual thing. So now it's about it's about, yes, the energy, but it's also about like when you are with a woman. So I read a book called The Heart of Tantric Sex back
Mm.
in like May of this year. And
Mm.
in that book, it talks about how men and women, but more so men, were always worried about the destination during sex, which is of course getting the nut. We're never worried about the journey. So in this book, it teaches you how to
I
focus.
like that.
Yeah, in this book, it teaches you how to focus on, instead of when you are having sex and thinking about your nut, you're thinking about how it feels in the moment. And you start working on your feelings, you start working on your emotions. And so what semen retention is, it's even to the point where when you're having sex, you don't necessarily have to nut and still feel satisfied. Like it goes into a deeper realm of your being and of your spirit. And so
Ooh.
then what happens is so now you have sex with your woman, you're connected. Like sometimes, even in the book, it says you and your woman sit together naked, and you guys, you look at each other. You look at each other, you feel each other. Then you can start having sex, and you don't necessarily have to even move. You can just like lay and be with her and hold it. Like it's a whole thing, you know what I'm saying? And I had heard about it, but I never really read about it. So then when I read about it, I was like, oh, all this makes sense. And so there are people who have mastered it to the point where they can have sex and it's almost like an internal orgasm for even for the man. Like where he
Wow.
feels like he orgasm, but it's nothing come because he's so in tune with the mind, which is absolutely wild to me. I haven't gotten there yet, but I will say this. I will say this. After I read that book, I had sex after I read that book, right? But the next time I had sex, I thought about, I was the whole time I was thinking about what the book said, right?
Mm.
And this is gonna sound crazy, but I ended up lasting almost like 40 plus minutes
Oh my God. That's a
because
long
I
time
wasn't
now.
because I was it was a long time. It was like little breaks in there and all that stuff. It was a long time, but I got to the point where I wasn't focused on myself. And I
Mm.
was focused on the feeling and the movement and and I was like, this is really weird. And to top it off, I had got to the point where I was like, I'm good. And I didn't even nut. Like I was like, I'm good. And she was like, you good? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, what? It was weird. It was so weird. But when you really start to get in tune with your body as a man, it's a different thing. Like I see more men need to start, preaching more about getting in tune with their bodies because women talk about it all the time, get in touch with yourself, and men don't. But once we do, like fellas, I'm telling you, you're gonna feel different. It's a different thing. And you'll become a beast in the bedroom, you know what I'm saying? Like because you in a whole nother realm now, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's the difference between no fap and semen retention. When did you first hear about like how did you just were you just looking online or something like?
I feel like you put me on because you've been potting a lot longer. So
Mhm.
you talked about it on an episode a long time ago about it.
Oh,
And
you know what? Yeah, I did. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but I guess I just wanted more of your personal experience because
Hmm.
you definitely gave what it meant and like
Yeah.
how you felt. But it's such a deeper level of like intimacy there
Yeah.
too, even though you're not going to do anything. It's just mentally stimulating yourself to know yourself, discover yourself, your
And
likes and wants.
I think the biggest thing is like for anybody who wants to do it, like whether you're doing no fab or semen retention. I think fellas, if you listen to this, like go do your research and just like, look at both of them and see what you would want to try and stuff like that. But it's all about being intentional. I think that's the most important thing we have to understand. It's like, so if you choose to have sex, that's fine because you're choosing, you're not letting images and things like force you into do it. That's what it's about. Like it's all about that self-control and being intentional with what you're doing. And so if you start to do it, let's say you want to do a 30-day challenge and you only get to day 15, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. You got to give yourself
It's a start.
yeah, you got to give yourself compassion because this is brand new. Think about it. You've been nutting since you was 13, 14 years old to now you're, whether you're 25, 24, whatever, like it's 10, 12 plus years. And so, of course, it's going to be different. Like a lot of men are like, what? No, like I couldn't do that, but you really can. Like you genuinely can. And it's not as hard as men make it seem. Now, trust it. At the beginning, you like, man, because we have to realize like we have gates, we have eye gates, ear gates, all these gates on our face. So when we're on IG and you're scrolling, you're letting these gates, you're leaving these gates open, and so these images get inside your mind, and then you're wondering why later in the day you're like, I'm horny for something. Like, wow, what's wrong? Like, I'm trying to even look at nothing. You realize, oh shoot, I was scrolling on that girl page earlier today. It gets into your subconscious, and your subconscious is a very, very powerful thing. And so you have to be careful of when you're doing this journey, you have to be careful of what you are allowing into your system, into your energy, because that's going to ultimately affect you if you're not careful. You know what I'm saying? That was the biggest part for me. I had to really, like, even now, like, I'm glad they finally brought this feature back on IG, but when you go to Explore page, it had been crazy for months because they were just showing me nothing but ass. And I'm just like, yo, I mean,
Because you double tap like one ass picture and they're like, oh, you like ass? Well,
it's
here's
like,
all of it.
it's like, yo, relax. But now they brought the feature back where you can put not interested. Because I had got to a point where
You did that?
I had got to a point where my Explore page is nothing but sports, working out, art, and all that stuff. So then once they switched it over, it was a bunch of. I was like, yo, hold on, it's a lot. Like, let me go to stuff at museums, traveling, all this stuff. You have to do that because if you don't, you're gonna fall victim eventually. Like it's going to happen because men are already our flesh is humans. Our flesh is weak, but men we're visual. So that visual stimulation, we're like, oh my god, like I see a thigh, like I'm gonna go crazy. Like it's real, you know what I'm saying? So that's what makes it tough. Like when I first started, man, I remember mornings and evenings I would be so horny and I would have to force myself not like I would have a headache. I'd be like, no, I was like, I have to, but you have to do something else. I was like, I gotta go run or do some push-ups or
I feel like that would be the best time to work out. Like,
yeah, like go, you gotta get
that. Yeah.
Yeah, because if not, it's gonna sit on you, be tossing and turning in the bed, like, no, 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 no. You be looking at your computer like, don't open it, don't open it, don't open it. It was times when I failed, I would literally be opening my computer, going to a porn site, and in my mind saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? Put it down, stop.
Oh my God. Or even your phone, because I feel like the phone is more deadly because Instagram, social media is the devil. So
it will run up on you real quick. Now, where the challenge may lie for some men is men who are in relationships. You know what I'm saying? That's where the challenge may lie.
Like, how do you do that? Because then you and your partner are doing it together.
I remember I did it when I was younger without even knowing what I was doing, but something came over me and I was like, I needed like a month off from. We was having way too much. You young, you humping like rabbits. I was like, this is ridiculous. So I remember when I told her how she reacted, it was like, what? Like that immediately, especially a younger woman, we were both 21, 22 at the time, she's gonna immediately think like, oh, you fucking somebody else. Like
I would.
There's no reason you just don't want to nut. Like you're a man. Like right. But now that I'm looking back on, I was like, man, I wish I had this information because in hindsight, I could have really broke it down to her and tell her, actually, I would love for her help to help me through this journey so I could just feel better. I want to feel good. You know what I'm saying? I want to get more energy. As a matter of fact, it's going to help us in the long run. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I couldn't explain it to her. I was just like, I just don't want to, you know. And then now, because, you know, a woman wants to feel secure. She wants to feel like loved. And I was like, I know she feels neglected now because I'm not trying to touch on her and stuff like that. And that's where it gets tough for men who are in relationships. But I would say, fellas, if you are in a relationship and you want to practice like a month or something like that, really just like sit your girl down and just explain it. Like, talk to her. Like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get my spirit right. And if she really loves you, she ain't gonna be like, no, your spirit don't need to be right. Like, she'll be like, all right. I mean, I get it. It's gonna be tough, but I think if she knows and you communicate that, she's probably more willing to even help you. Like, she probably like, don't touch me. No, you can't. You know what I'm saying? You guys can have fun with it. It doesn't have to be oh my God, the end of the world thing. It's literally a month. It's not even that. It's not that crazy.
I was about to say a month goes by like days now. Like
Yeah.
the year's about to be over.
Keep yourself busy. Y'all can help each other. Keep yourself busy. Put that energy into both of y'all doing her business, your business. Like, put that energy. And it really is true. Like, the times that I didn't do it, like, man, the productivity went up. Everything went up. It just, like, you know, I was working. I was focused more. Because you're not so much thinking about sex. Sex is literally the number one drug in the world. Like, because we're humans. That's what we want. That's how we connect. And, you know, niggas will be niggas. Like, that's just what.
That's a fact.
That's just a fact. No matter if you are a preacher. I mean, you can look at Pastor Carl Lentz, the way what he just went through. I don't know if you heard about what happened with him.
He is that the one that cheated on his wife with
Yeah.
doesn't matter, but yeah, he cheated on his wife. And I'm also go ahead.
From a pastor to a janitor, we still men at the end of the day. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
you know, and I understand we all fall. So I can't fault him. I can't be like, oh, you're a terrible human. It's been so many people that have done. I mean, at this point.
But you know who else I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of like Kurt Franklin, because didn't he have like a porn problem?
He had a porn addiction. Yeah. It's real. Like this.
This shit's real. Like
real. Like, it's been time. Like, I'm gonna get real personal with you.
Yes, I love personal.
It's been times where I would have like 4 or 5 tabs open on different porn videos because I wasn't sure which one I wanted to nut to. Like, I was just like, oh, all right, cool. Yeah, no, I like this one. Oh, yeah, I like her body, but she got a nice mouth. I like what she doing here. Oh, no, click off that. Like, it was bad, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what am I doing?
This is an extreme sport for you. That is wild. It's like watching 4 different games.
And then,
all right, hold on.
Here's the funny part. Other homies were like, oh, yeah, no, I have multiple tabs. Like, I got to figure out where. I'm like, so I was like, oh, this is just a thing.
This is regular. Got it.
This is regular. Okay. So and what happens is, I think what we got to realize is we're conditioned, especially as men from a young age, work, get pussy, play sports. You know what I'm saying? That's all you know. And when you're 13, 14 years old, your older cousins are like, oh yeah, you ain't fucked that girl, like da-da-da. And your older sibling or uncles or whatever, like, yeah, I had this girl last night. So that's all you hear. So in your mind, you think that's what life is about. It's just, I got to get the girl. Like, we're not taught at a young age about, hey, your spirit, protect that. Like, make sure you don't release your energy all the time. Like, if you do like her, that's cool, but you don't want it to be out here doing. You're not taught this stuff. But then when you get older, you start reading, like I said, The Ways of the Superior Man, The Heart of Tantric Sex. I mean, books about being essential with your decisions and all these things. You start reading, you're like, oh, I should have been known. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but when we're conditioned to just release, that's all we think about. So as soon as we see a woman, we like, oh yeah, da-da-da. It's an interesting conversation I had with my, I call him my bro in Atlanta one time. We were having this conversation. I was like, so we were talking about like men and like cheating and you know, just all the stuff. And I was like, let's think about this. Why not say can't, but why is it so hard for us to just stay with one vagina? Like, what is it that makes us feel like we need to like get out there. I get it. I know the primal thing. We want to reproduce. We're made to reproduce. I get that. I understand that. I said, but what is it? And then me and him started talking, and it was like, we kind of broke it down to where it was like, let's say we broke it down. It was like, it's not even about the vagina at a certain point, right? Because when we really break it down, not saying they all feel the same, but sex, it kind of it's going to feel, of course, some may be tighter, some may be, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff. But what it really is, it's the package around it. So like, oh, I like her skin. Oh, her hips sit different than this. Oh, she smells this way. Oh, uh, she's a big girl. I like big women. Oh, so it's not even about the actual vagina. It's the whole entire package. And what happens is every time, and that's what porn does. Every time you pull up a new tab, another hit of dopamine goes off. So it's like a drug. So you put, it's like, oh, new, ooh, new, ooh, new. So you
Yeah,
can,
you guys are literally like dogs. Like a dog
yeah.
can be distracted by a ball, oh, a color, oh, a person. That's y'all.
I could, like, the girl, like, I'm with you, baby. We've been together 3-4 years. I love you. You gonna be the mother of my child.
But I'm distracted right now by this ass.
But like, don't you, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it's so important to work on self-control, like understanding, like, hey, bro, this is just an impulse and you need to reel it in. You gotta reel it in. And it's funny because we can literally go and fuck the girl we talking about and not think about her ever again and go right back to it. And it's literally just, oh man, I just need to get that out. All right, cool. And it's so wild. I was listening to my homeboys on a podcast talk one time. They were like, he's like, ladies, this is gonna sound crazy. You'll never understand. And the guy who was talking, he's married now. He's been married a couple of years. But he was like, it's gonna sound crazy. When I was cheating, like not on the girl he's currently, but his ex, he was like, when I was cheating, it's gonna sound wild, but when I cheated, it made me appreciate my girl even more. And that's a wild statement, but I was like, I see where he going, but like, of course, it don't need to be that. But I understand what he was saying. But I was like, that's so wild that I think at the end of the day, men and women, we just aren't going to. That's an area that we're never going to like come together on for some reason.
Wait, what part exactly? On the cheating or?
No, not on the sheet, just on how we think about, like, how we look
Oh,
at, you know what I'm saying? Like, women won't ever in life understand that. They'll be like, but you got everything right here. Why you need to look at it? And we can't answer. We have no idea.
well, yeah, but that's usually when like our ears perk up when you start being extra nice to us
Yeah,
when you normally aren't. And it's like,
yeah.
oh, you gave me flowers today? Oh, you must have cheated. You know,
That's,
that's how
and
those
it shouldn't even
insecurities
be that
start.
narrative. It shouldn't even be that narrative, but it is. Like, it is. But all that goes back to say, so we can stay on track. It's just when it comes to the no fap and the semen retention, all these things, these are genuine things that kind of, they really do help. Because you'll notice like I mean, you've been in our house party stuff. Like, it's women
Mhm.
everywhere, but we not around every girl like Jake. Like, oh, come, you know what I'm saying? It's like you get to a point where you're like, all right, yes, these are women in here. Yes, they're beautiful. Yes, they look good, smell good, whatever it is. But like, I'm cool. Like, play it. Like, you have a different demeanor about you when you understand what it is. You know what I'm saying? When you understand that you don't
Yeah.
have to chase everything, that you don't have to do whatever your energy is, it's going to come to you one way or another. So you don't have to like force everything. And that's what a lot of men got to understand. They try to force having sex and force. I'm gonna drop a gem on y'all boys if you listening. Like,
Gems.
and you know, I'm not saying this. You got to do this because you need to have sex with the girl. But fellas, like 9 times out of 10, and you can disagree with me or agree with me, all right, whichever one. If you like just play it cool and don't like bring up sex and all that stuff, 9 times out of 10, the girl is going to probably give you some, like if you just like relax and play it cool, talk to her, be interested, y'all go out, y'all have a good time. At the end of the night, don't even trip. Like give her a kiss on the cheek, tell her go home, cool. You brother, I'm telling you. it's going to be it's going to be a lot better for you at the end. Not saying that you need to manipulate, but genuinely just be yourself and just be cool. Like a lot of niggas just be like, so yeah, when you gonna let like, yo, brother, like, and then a lot of times girls will be like, well, there goes his chance out the window because he's just talking too much.
You can definitely talk your way out of vagina very quickly if you're just calm, cool,
Yeah.
and relax. Let the vibe flow. I mean, you could get it that night if you play your cards right. But ooh, that rhymed. But either way, it's just that was triggering because that's very true. A lot of
Yeah.
times it's like you're bringing it up too fast. Like I
Yes.
just met you. I barely
But
remember your name.
we understand we're both attractive people. We already understand that. So
Yeah.
that goes without saying. So now let's be both attractive people, have a good time, and just let the flow, let it flow. Like
Let it flow.
let it flow. That's it. When
That's
it just works 9 times out of 10 because it's just like, oh, thank goodness this guy ain't pressing me. I was like, sounds wild, but you got to treat it as if you already had sex with him. Like here in your mind, you got to treat that's exactly how you got to treat it, because then that thought is you're not even really now you're just trying to have a good time. Like, you're trying to have a good time, trying to chill, trying to kick it. Like for me, I got to the point right now, like even like these IG girls and all that stuff. Like if I meet a really good looking girl in person, or whatever, I'll give her that. Like I won't even give her a hug. I treat her
Not
like,
a dap.
oh yeah, I'm like, what's good? Da, da, da. Because in her
Wow.
mind, she's so used to like, dudes like all over. Yeah, oh damn, you look nice. Da, da, da. I ain't giving you none of that. Hey, are you good? All right, cool. Yeah, yeah. So, go keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's always girls notice that guy in the room who's not everywhere, who not, what I'm saying? He's like, okay, this, he chill, he know people, like but he not tripping, like, what I'm saying? Like, but that's a lot of that comes, I'm telling y'all, when you do this no fab and the semen retention, a lot of that confidence and that cool, calm, collected, it comes from that. It definitely comes from that.
Yeah, and I think it sustains a level of maturity too,
Yeah,
like you can't just like you said, you may not even get through the first 30 days, the first round
yeah, you
because
might not. Yeah,
yeah, and you just have to be honest with yourself, but you could try it again and then see if you can work your way into it if you want to.
yeah.
But something I thought of as far as like couples
Mm.
who may try this or the man is going to try it and she agrees or whatever. But I feel like you can turn it into like a reward program. If you can get through this 30 days, maybe we could take a trip and fuck on an island. Like that would be my thing. Like we can make this shit work.
That'd be dope.
So,
You know how excited you're gonna be checking off the days, like boom, got
oh,
another one.
what?
Let's go.
I'm shopping for bikinis and
you
sex
know,
toys. Like it's gonna be a
you can
thing.
make it fun. You can definitely make it fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this whole like, oh my god, like yeah, you can definitely make it fun. Like,
Yeah.
but I think that's low key. You should make it fun because sometimes you get a relationship and things can get a little old or mundane. So it's like, all right, let's switch it up. Let's act like we never done that before. Let's keep it cool. You know what I'm saying? You might can tease a little bit, but you like, nah, nope, nope, nope. You're like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Make it fun. I think that's the cool thing to do. I mean, it's just so much information out there, I think, for young men. And I hope it's some young men that understand. Like I want to give these gems to the 16-year-olds, the 17-year-olds, because them are the ones that really need to hear it, because we don't hear that, man. We get to college and we just trying to hit on everything.
Wow out.
It's wild.
College is a time.
It's a time. And granted, you have to go through it, but it's a lot of information out there now to where you could be like, all right, my big bro Rome was like, I heard what he said. Let me just try. Let me see how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can change the narrative a little bit, and it doesn't have to always be about sex, sex, sex. He's like, yo, get in tune with yourself. Build the best thing a man can do to attract a woman is level up himself. You don't do it for her. You do it for you. Don't.
Mhm.
I don't believe in chasing girls, because if I'm chasing you, you're running from me. I'm not chasing nobody that's running from me. I believe in working on yourself, and it will attract to you whatever you need to. Like now,
Love that.
pursuing is a whole different thing. Pursuing, that means, hey, you send her a nice message, say, hey, I would love to go out, da da da. But if she's running from you and not answering you back, you gotta leave that alone. You gotta
You
keep
gotta
working
know
on
when to stop,
it.
right?
Know when to stop. Yeah, you gotta know when to stop. So I think the best thing that any man can do right now in his life, if you're single, is just level up on your in your finances and in your fashion and your reading and your maturity, and then all that stuff gonna come to you easily.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that, Rome. We need you to well, you have boss talk and everything else, but like this needs to be just
I need a
everywhere.
course. It need to be everywhere.
Yes. This needs to be like a master class. Like
It does. It
I
does.
love that. So yeah, I hope I reach more of the younger gentlemen that listen to my podcast. I don't know, but this is monumental. So I would want, if you're going to try this, I really think you should be willing to just dig deeper in yourself,
For sure.
get onto that spiritual tip, and not in like any weird way, just like
Yeah.
being in tune with yourself, being intimate with yourself, but in a way where it's not involving touching. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can fully communicate that to someone else.
Gain your power back. Like don't be out here
Totally.
don't make it seem like you out here just thirsty for everything. That's not attractive at all. Like you don't wanna be like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Oh my God. Well, Rome, congratulations. You're not doing it this month, are you?
You know what?
Like,
I haven't masturbated in about 2 weeks since the last time I did. So I mean, I guess see that's the thing. You get to a point where you're like, oh, okay. I mean, I get it done when I get it done. But yeah, no, I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying?
love
So,
that. See, it'll just happen sometimes. You don't even know. It's like,
like I
eh,
literally thought about when you said it. I was like, oh yeah.
that's amazing. I'm gonna be like completely candid. Like masturbating has been like my life all pandemic. It's
That's
been
what I'm saying. For
all
women, it's a totally different story. I've heard women say they're like,
yeah.
"Nah, I do it before I go to bed or like this and that." I'm like, "That's
Morning,
real."
night,
Yeah, because
afternoon. Like it
y'all,
doesn't matter.
it doesn't really deplete y'all like it does us. You know what I'm saying? If anything, sometimes it gives
Yeah.
y'all energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, it's like refreshing. It's like, oh, okay, I can go about my day now.
Yeah, for us, we do it. I mean, it is refreshing for those 10, 15 seconds. Then we like, oh, I'm tired, bro. Like, I don't want to.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, especially when you're doing it like that with four different tabs open and you're like,
Yeah,
okay, what's going on here? What's going on?
yeah,
I feel like that already is just mentally exhausting because you're
a
just
lot.
really straining for that perfect moment, I guess. I don't know, but
I'm gonna get this one. This
that
is the
is
moment.
intense.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah.
Extreme sport. Okay. Well, okay, this is more of an intimate question about porn.
What's up?
Are you into any like weird, crazy porn? I don't want to call it weird because everyone's into something,
Uh,
but
Nah, like I've gone through different phases. Like I've gone through like one time I went through the stocking phase.
hot.
I just liked it. You know, so I liked the way it hugged the thighs and stuff like that. I was like, I'm good with that. I
That's
went through
cool.
went through a gang bang phase. I was like, I just want to watch gang bangs like that. I went through an orgy phase. I went through
You know, the gangbang one is really popular for women
really okay, interesting.
because a lot of women won't try it in real life, but they would
Okay,
love, they like the
got
fantasy.
gotcha.
And when I
Yeah,
watched it, I was like, I get it, but it's still not for me.
I went
I was like,
I went through a spit phase. I don't know.
ooh, no, I'm not into the spitting thing.
I was like that. I just went through different phases, but yeah, no, I don't have none of these that I'm saying are like crazy. Like, oh my god, like no, I don't have anything wild that I've ever like. I can't watch torture and all. Like, no, I can't do all that.
Ooh, like, yeah, I guess it is called torture porn or anything too deep in the BDSM realm.
No, but I can watch BDSM. I just don't like when they be torturing balls and stuff like that.
Ooh, oh my God. My homegirl put me onto something crazy she does with her partner. And I was like, oh, it's called sounding. I'm not gonna describe it. I'm gonna want
Okay,
people to Google it
okay,
because it makes my kegels flex, but like in a bad way. I'm just like, oh no, oh my God, I can't. For me, it's not it. But some people be liking some shit, man. And I'm
yeah,
not
no,
here to
that's what
judge.
I can't judge, but it's
It's just not for me.
not my thing. I'm into some nasty shit, but that's a little bit far.
There's levels,
There's
and
levels, but
I've learned that I'm very like low tier
yeah,
on the nasty
like,
scale.
in the low tier area, no, for
Yeah, I'm
sure.
cool. I'm cool in my little prude area. It's fine. It's fine. Well, Rome, no further questions. I am so thankful that you gave me the best thorough description of this no nut, no fap November
Yeah,
and sober September, which is something else I wasn't aware of.
yeah,
And just really shedding light on something that could be beneficial to you for your health, but
yeah,
also for your mentals. So we
yeah.
as young adults, young Black adults, we need to really get in tune with our bodies in different ways.
Yeah.
So
So fellas, I would tell you to level up, don't level out. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way I can describe it.
level up, don't level out. You made that up? That's cute.
Yeah, I just made it up
That's
right
great.
now. I'm
That
gonna
just
get a
needs to
t-shirt.
be. Yeah, yeah. Put that on a shirt. That's a gem.
Level up,
That's a
don't level
gem.
up. Yeah.
I love that. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
Oh, of course. First and foremost, you can follow at Dormtainment on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can follow me at I Roam a lot, IROME a lot. You can follow the new brand at The Shady Side Up.
Yes,
The
yes.
Shady Side Up. That's on Instagram and Twitter, and Facebook is just Shady Side Up. You can go to the website www.shadysideup.com. Grab you a pair of shades. We just dropped 2 new frames today.
Yes, you did.
And what else? And my partner, my brother, Mike Dam has an album out right now called Magic Mike. You can go get
Oh,
that
yes.
everywhere.
Shout out to Mike Dam.
Our podcast, Comedy Trap House, every Tuesday on iTunes, YouTube, all those good stuff. You can follow if you want to become a Boss Talk patron, where we have plenty of talks like this. You can follow us or become a patron at patreon.com/comedy trap house, or you can go to the IG, which is Real Boss Talk. Oh, man, I just realized we got a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Busy
Yeah.
boots, okay?
That's everything. That's everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there more? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I believe I'm gonna go home and be like, oh man, I'm gonna get off. I'm like, oh, I forgot 3 more things. No, that's it. That's it.
Wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
bro, I'm
Thank you for
super.
having me. I love what
Yes.
you're doing. I love that you're growing and doing your thing. And yeah, I'm proud of you. I've seen you from the jump. So yeah, keep going.
Yes, thank you, Rome. You've been with me through the year. You've helped me produce some stuff and
Yeah, we
you've been
here.
on episodes. So I appreciate you too. Thank you. And I'm proud of you. You guys stayed busy all quarantine. So kudos. And I love the sunglasses. I have 3 pairs now. So yeah, I love what you guys are doing as well.
Thank you.
But yes, that was another episode of Girl What. Follow me on Instagram, girlwhat_pod. I'm on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, all the major networks for the podcast. Also, I need reviews, 5 stars, and written reviews are always appreciated. And that wraps up another episode. Thanks,
Boom.
guys.